Welcome to Beginner Series 2, Session 5. So we're now going to do exercises lying onto your side. So you might want to have something like a block and a cushion to place underneath your head. You can also use books and towels, but make sure they're stable enough so it's not too soft when you place your head down. So I'm going to put it behind me and then come into my transition move to come down to the floor. So you can roll to the side or you can go into your roll back. So holding the back of the knee, lifting up to the chest, using your C-curves, the stomach muscles to pull back, slightly keeping the leg heavy, and then roll back down in towards the floor. And then just turn onto your side, coming into your arm openings, which is the first exercise. So feet and knees and spine are in a seated position. I'm going to push those blocks and cushions back, and then taking the arms forward. Now from here we lift the arm, and then we're going to open up the arm and chest, and bringing the arm and chest back, and then fingertips down. So make sure you've got space to move, and then roll, and then bringing the arm and chest, and then fingertips down. So I've stacked my knees and hips on top of each other, and I'm using my rotation in the spine. So I'm lifting the arm first, soften the back of the shoulder, and then breathe out to open up the chest. And then bringing the arm and chest back towards the ceiling, and then return back down again. So the knees are gently pressing together so to keep your stability. And then you use your rotational muscles to open up, pulling yourself back up towards the ceiling, and then bringing the hand down. So the head and neck just stays in a nice lengthened position, so it's comfortable to roll and turn. So we do two more. So we lift, we open up the chest, look towards your fingertips, roll back towards the middle, and then taking the hand back down. One more. So the bottom arm is staying just still, and then open up the chest, bringing the arm and chest back, and then fingertips down, and then focus on legs. So I'm going to take my feet a little bit further back, and then change position of the cushion, removing the block but keeping the cushion. The arm is going to be stretched. Make sure you have space for your legs now. And then we find our rotation and lift from your muscles in the back of the leg. So starting first with a leg lift. So I'm just going to float my knee and foot off the bottom foot and then place it back down. Now you can keep this top hand in front of your chest. And as you press in, you can feel a bit of connection into your muscles here as well. So we've got abdominal muscles, oblique muscles working. And then float it back down. Now the leg is being lifted by your glute muscle. So it's pulling up, and then lift and float, and then bring it back down. So we softly push up and then float back down towards the knee. So keep moving, and then float back down, and then lift, and then float back down, just trying to keep everything stable around the spine, making sure we have enough abdominal connection to do so. And then back, and then keep the leg lifted, and now you're going to take the knee in front of you. And I'm going to glide the knee and foot behind, trying to keep the spine nice and long all the way from your tailbone whilst the leg is moving back. And then gliding forward. So I'm stabilizing with the bottom knee, but I'm also supporting with the hand in front. Just keeping the shoulders stacked. And then pushing the leg behind. So we glide. And then bring the leg behind. And then bringing the legs and feet together and doing something called Charleston. So we're going to lift the foot and knee up. I'm now going to turn at the hip, so make sure you're comfortable. Give yourself a break when you need to. Stomach muscles, abdominal connection, rib cage down to the hip. And I'm going to twist my knees together and then the feet, just softly. You find your range. It doesn't have to be this big. And then softly knees and then feet, knees and feet. Use your breath. You can feel now muscles are changing. When we turn, we do a couple more. And turn, and turn. And then bring the legs together. And you use your knuckles if it was tight into the glute muscle. And then change sides. So I'm pushing up from here. Lift, push up. Bringing my blocks and cushions with me. And again, checking I have enough space for the arms to go back. So place it there. Now I'm going to roll to the side for this transition rather than coming into roll back, but you can decide if you want to do that. As I'm placing myself down, pushing the blocks and cushions back, and then taking the arms on top of each other. Feet and knees are in a seated position, but a lift from the oblique muscles, and then start to lift, and then rotate. Arm and chest comes back, come back, and then return down. So it's a lift, and then open up the chest. Arm and chest together, and then fingers down. So I'm pressing my knees together at the same time to find stability. And it also helps you connect with your abdominal muscles, so they're supporting you when we add rotation of the spine. So we roll the back of the head, look towards the fingers, come back towards the ceiling, and then back down. So it's a breath in to lift, and then breathe out to rotate, open. Breath in to lift, and then breathe out to come back. So we're just trying to make this comfortable for the spine to rotate from the upper back into the mid back, come back towards the ceiling, and then all the way down. So your arm opening exercise, and then turn, which can also be done seated or standing. And then we change to legs. So I'm taking the block away and just leaving the cushion, and then stretching out the arm, placing the cushion in between, and just checking I have enough space behind me to work with the legs, lifting from the muscles underneath, drawing that rib cage down towards the hip, and then starting with the lift and float of the knee and foot. Again, glute muscles, floating up, giving yourself a bit of space around the hip. Now we can push with this hand onto the floor, so we're helping out, keeping everything squared. And just float, relax the foot and knee underneath, and then float, and then back. So I'm gliding my knee and foot up and down, using breathing out to go up and breath in to go down. So breath out, and then breathe in to return. So give yourself a rest when you need to with these ones. This is now hip and leg exercises. So you're going to just listen to your body. We're going to do 2 more here. And then float, and then lift, and then I'm going to keep my leg lifted, and then push forward, and then glide the knee and foot back, opening up the front of the hip. So the spine stays lengthened. I'm not changing the pelvis. I'm lengthening away from the crown of the head, and just finding a crease around the hip, pushing down with the bottom leg, and then back, 2 more, and forward, and then push back, and then we go to Charleston. So we lift the knee and foot, pushing into the floor, and then we turn. So we press the knees together, and then feet, knees and feet, knees and feet. And again, find your range. If it's tight, this is external, internal rotation. Couple more. Almost done. For 2, and tap. For 1, and tap. Well done. Use your knuckles. Push into the muscle. If it was a bit tight there. And then we push up to a seated position. So lift, push up, and just place yourself back into seated position. Good.